Welcome to another session of Endless Legend. I'm Matt, and this is my endless difficulty playthrough of the Kapaku. I always confuse them with, I think, one of my favorite barnacles. So, we've just started, and we started quite a nice way because we have, firstly, a good initial tile for our city. Getting this extra happiness bonus from the terrain is excellent. And we're going to have a pretty good settle over here in this location. We're going to have to volcano form way more around the spot to make this entire terrain good for our city, but currently this is a very nice location. And as soon as we settle it, we'll get some emeralds, which will let us pacify this village. And then we can slowly win over these eyeless ones. Sorry. So we want to pop out the settler, but we don't want to do it before we can really make excellent use of, or before we can really have this volcano form pop. So if we rushed out the settler, for instance, before 5 turns, well, actually with 3 turns and 2 turns of movement, we'll probably reach that point precisely at the right time. But we also want to make sure that we get enough city growth that it's sort of worth it. So I guess we can just pick up the public library first and then see if we want to go for the settler first or pick up something else. It all depends on how quickly we can get the next population unit. Ideally want to sync up the food so that you pick up populations just before you build the settler, or you build during a time when you can't generate that much food, like during winter, which is coming up eventually. We don't know exactly when winter is coming up. We do know exactly when the dust eclipse is coming, and the dust eclipse is a new event that was added with this expansion. I think I don't know what it's called, but the expansion that gives the Kapaku. And what dust eclipses do is they let you search ruins again, or temple ruins more precisely. And when you search these ruins, you get typically a lot of dust. Among other things. But really, it lets you, if you're smart about it, lets you pick up a ton of dust. Oh, that was unfortunate, we didn't get anything from that location. It lets you pick up a ton of dust, and with that dust, you can often easily buy a bunch of heroes with Mercenary Market, which is good, because we were planning on using this hero for military combat. What other combat is there? I think I'm going to send a hero along here to explore a bit. We can always get back there and volcano form this region later, but the most important thing is that we volcano form this region that we're about to settle. I could drop another volcano former, and maybe that's kind of wise. To just get it over and done with. I think I want to have this area covered, and then this area covered. Actually, we have a quest. Our main quest requires that we volcano form 10 tiles. So I guess we just want to get enough glass steel and just pop it down immediately so we get that done as fast as possible. And now we just got a population unit. And in 4 turns we get a new population, and we can get geomic labs in the meantime. I think it's desirable to delay this first settler a bit, because if you wait till turn 20, you basically every 20 turns you can spend influence for empire-wide bonuses. And this influence cost is multiplied by the number of cities you have. So if we only found a new city just after turn 20, we'll save a ton of influence and conversely be able to activate more effects. The same idea why I've been saving these boosters. I want to activate them just before I settle so I get the maximum value out of them. We have to destroy this village, but I don't think we can because we're friendly with it. I think we've kind of locked ourselves out of this quest. Maybe we have to attack these horned villages at some point, but they're kind of... they're slightly terrifying. So, horns are quite dangerous combat units. So we'll just leave that for now. We can always pick up this unspoiled ruins later, there's no rush. It looks like we're on an island alone, so we don't actually have to worry about other factions attacking us just now and or stealing our temples. So we'll have it. Okay, let's just volcano. Just drop a volcano former in this region. I think we want one here so that we can go add one here later. And then we probably want to drop one over here at some point. Or maybe here, just so we can exploit this with a golem camp eventually. But in the meantime, in case you know what I'm talking about, golem camps are the signature upgrade of the Kapaku. And it's basically a burrow district, except you don't have to attach it to your city. So instead of generating you these 3 bonus terrain at max, well, burrow district can at maximum get you 3 bonus terrain exploitations. The golem district, the burrow streets, my bad. The golem district can give you at max 6 bonus tiles. So it's kind of as many resources as if you were founding a new city, which is sort of insane. It's really, well, it's just really good. The only weakness of the golem district is that you have to defend it from enemy armies. They can very easily destroy it. So we don't put any... Okay, economy and population ministry to level 1, and we'll be able to pacify this region, which is good. The more regions we pacify, the less we have to fight them later to get those pacification bonuses. And it looks like this area is nice. It has a river. River gives you bonus food, and it has a bunch of anomalies clustered over here. We could even think about dropping titanium here, but in the meantime, we have to start planning for the dust eclipse. It's quite important that you, especially as the Kapaku, that you are aware when the dust eclipse happens, so that you can really capitalize on it and really get. Unfortunately, we didn't get anything on this research. It's really important that you can get get as many temple rivers as you can, and if you're able to do that, your dust should skyrocket, and then you'll be able to pick up these heroes for the mercenary market. And you really want a couple of governors at the very least at the start of the game. Especially since I think this hero is quite well suited to being a military commander. And the sky darkened there because the eclipse is about to happen. Normal sign for that. In 4 turns we'll finish this main quest, and then we'll get extra glass steel, I think, which will be great because we can spend all that glass steel to make more volcano formers. Volcano formers gain 2 cost for every time you use them, so there's definitely they definitely tax your strategic resources, but at the same time they give you a lot. I mean, at the same time, while the Kapaku have to plan ahead with their terrain, volcanic terrain tends to give you quite a lot of resources. Like, even without the geomic labs to extra exploit this tile, we're getting 5 resource points from this tile. This tile even gives us more. But we get our basic resource output is very strong, which is part of the reason why the Kapaku are so good. Kapaku is that they're really consistent. They just are strong every single game, which is something that other factions tend to struggle with in this game, because the start matters so much. It's one of the things I don't really like about it. Your starting location can be really good or very bad. Unlike in Endless Space, where your starting location is more or less the same every game. Which is, it's nice to have variation in your games, but at the same time that means you're not consistently getting the same starts or abilities in each game. So it's a bit more luck-based, unfortunately. Alright, pick this up. See, we've already picked up 200 dust. Which isn't even that much, to be honest, considering how much you can rake in during a dust eclipse. Let's get the bonus movement speed on this hero. This attack bonus is not terrible, but I really want to move up on the tree. Get these movement speed upgrades first. This morale upgrade I think is very strong. A hero getting bonus damage and bonus initiative for our troops is also quite nice. And I believe the Kapaku have... Well, it has some decent hero upgrades in the Kapaku tree, but really, I really like the fact that we have a military cavalry hero, because cavalry units are quite strong, and I think cavalry heroes can be quite strong as well. These Kapaku cavalry units are quite strong. Not true of all cavalry units in the game. There are some which are completely garbage, which is also another thing that bugs me a bit about this game compared to Endless Space. Units in the game are quite variably good across factions. Like, there are some factions which have garbage units, and there are some factions whose units are just spectacularly strong. Okay. We can go here. We have 3 turns until this ends, so I think we should be able to pick all 3 of these up. And once we pick up Mercenary Marketplace, we can get a governor for our main city. And I think researching ruins will continue to benefit us. We can go down here, pick this up, and I think we're going to pick this up with our heroes. So it's definitely important to plan ahead with these dust eclipses and position your stuff close to your, or your units close to the eclipse or temples before the dust eclipse starts. You can do that especially with the Kapaku because you know when the dust eclipse starts, which is really a huge deal. So we got the Geomic Labs and we got Aquapulvistics for free, which lets us get bonus dust from rivers or lakes, which is nice. If we settle on rivers or lakes. It's definitely not a given. This makes that upgrade that we got for free makes this location more enticing. And it's a tribe that we can definitely pacify if we want to. Although we prefer to keep our cities sort of clumped up, close together. I'm willing to go out of my way to pick up a good location if I think I can defend it. Not a given in this game. This by the way is an unspoiled ruin, so we don't have to prioritize getting it during the dust eclipse. We can get it later. Only temple ruins get bonuses during the dust eclipse. We've got more dust. That's great. Sadly, we haven't seen any swift confluxes because those give you bonus movement speed, and they're really busted during the dust eclipse. So now we move everything back to industry, so we get the settler out as fast as possible because the settler delays your production in your main city or food. And then we're getting Empire Mint next, I think, just because we are losing dust per turn because of a military upkeep. And we want to stop that as soon as possible. I mean, it's not something you can avoid in general. At some point you will bleed dust. It's just how the game works. It's part of the reason why it's so difficult to get up. It was so difficult before this expansion to get the required dust for heroes because of how difficult it was to maintain dust. It looks like we might not get this last one because we didn't find a swift conflux near us, which is unfortunate, but you know, it happens. Just head in that direction. I want to do some more scouting for my hero. I could drop more volcanics here, but I guess I'm gonna... No, maybe I shouldn't send in that direction. Okay, I'm gonna send this guy here and then this stone sentinel here. Pick this up, head over there, pick that up. And then I'm still deciding what I'm going to do with this stone sentinel. Probably actually start volcano forming this region. Because this is also a nice region. And we have 3 different towns here, which we've pacified. So we get free bonus population once we settle it, which is excellent. This region, we also... Oh, I missed out on this temple. Ah, whatever. That was like a foresight on my part, I guess. Could have picked... I don't know if I could have picked them all up, but yeah. I guess in future we'll have faster units or more units, we can cover more terrain. We can think about spending dust on the settler to get it out 1 turn earlier. But again, I kind of don't want to settle before turn 20. So we can spend 40 influence to get both of the bonuses. But both of the bonuses, I mean... The 2 best bonuses to pick up... Okay, good job, we completed this quest. And we need to get 5 stone sentinels to get the next part of this quest. That's not ideal. Stone sentinels are definitely the worst, or they're mid-tier unit for us at least. We can definitely do better. This shaman's insight is nice though. No military upkeep on those stone sentinels isn't bad. It's just that I don't think I'm going to prioritize the quest. I think there's easier options for that quest, and we got a bit unlucky not to get them. I believe it's possible to get... I'm not sure why this takes more turns now, that's weird. Okay, I believe it's possible to get. Sorry, my mind is working. Okay, it's possible to get a simulation of a faction for that part of the quest, which is way easier than building 3 extra military units and having your military units not die. So we can definitely buy some volcano formers now. We have the required titanium and glass steel. We have more glass steel, and generally glass steel weapons are worse than titanium weapons. So if we go for weapons, we will definitely know that picking up the glass steel weapons is less of a priority than picking up titanium weapons. So ideally we'd spend more glass steel than titanium, but obviously there's efficiency questions there. Now public granary is not bad actually. The more I play this game, the more high I am on upgrades that improve food production. Although it looks like we're going to be building settlers on this location for a while. Alchemy Workshop is also good. Improving science production is never bad. Improving happiness from central markets and giving bonuses on high happiness is also a nice upgrade. We want to really pick up sewer system because it stacks very nicely with central market, especially if we want to get lots of new city locations. What else is good in this? There's so many good things in the first 2 tiers. Imperial highways is something you want eventually because the trade routes give you much needed movement bonuses, and also trade routes give you dust and science over time as extra income. Aforementioned Golem Camp is a phenomenal upgrade specific to the Kapaku. I definitely want to pick this up eventually, and as soon as I can afford the hefty industry cost. And Shipyard is going to be necessary on this map because we eventually want to cross the sea and put pressure or engage with other factions. So that's not a huge priority, but it's something we want to think about. And being able to declare peace is less good in this game than Endless Space because, unfortunately, the Endless Legend AI doesn't take you seriously because you have less score than it. But that's true because it has more resources than you because it cheats. So it's very hard to pursue a diplomatic policy unless you're playing the Draken. And so Diplomat's Mance is less valuable than it should be, I think. Unfortunately, I think the balancing of the game makes diplomacy quite difficult to do. And you really have to have armies to defend yourself because the AI is sometimes just randomly aggressive. Especially if it thinks you can't beat it. As far as military technologies go, glass steel and the second tier of glass steel and titanium armor, weapons and armors is very good. Much better than these, and it's worth skipping these to go for these. I believe other YouTubers probably said this already. Like, these weapons are comparable to the level 2 weapons you get anyways, but these weapons are very solid. It's possible to skip these, but it's a bit greedy, and it might end up costing us the game. But given that we're on an island, we are less under pressure to have armies quickly. If we weren't alone on this island, I would feel much more compelled to pick up these way sooner. But we might be have the option to be a bit greedy. And the Golem Rider is our best army unit by far. This is excellent. We want to have an army, I think, of Stone Sentinels to grab some attention / tank some damage, and have the Golem Rider to just bring these massive circular attacks with charges, which really can do one. It's one of the few army units I think that really lets you fight efficiently against the AI, because you're often going to fight against AIs with like at least 3 times as many armies as you have, and with the Golem Riders you can mow down their armies relatively efficiently, and provided your armies are well rested, you're often going to trade extremely efficiently, which actually allows you to win wars on Endless. It's one of the reasons I like playing this faction. I don't feel like I'm too far behind economically or militarily. Meritocratic promotion is also excellent in terms of military upgrades. These 2 are definitely a must from this tier, and these are desirable, but given that we're on an island, we might skimp on these quite aggressively and just wait to pick up adamantium. I'm not sure if I should pick Alchemy Workshop or Public Granary first. They're both compelling, and they're both things I want. I guess Alchemy Workshop if our science is a bit low currently. Although we can quickly turn that around with a new hero. I want to start terraforming this region. It just looks very nice. It's good to have. Yeah, and also these units are very strong. So if we could assimilate them, then we'd have a powerful fighting unit. Although we needed much less of the Kapaku because our fighting units are just quite good in general. Alright, dismiss. Like I said, I'm saving those just before I get the new settlers. So I'm maximizing their output. No army. Okay, this is great. Sometimes you get this quest where they ask you make sure there's no army, and there's not going to be an enemy army in this region, so we're just going to get 20 adamantium and a pacified village very easily. So that was a stroke of good luck. Now we want to make volcano formers. We have more glass steel and it's less valuable, like I said. So we can spend more glass steel. We have glass steel and titanium output on our main area, which is great. I wonder if Kapaku automatically have these, because I've had them quite a lot. And I guess I can use some titanium as well. I want to use glass steel more in general, but also I don't want to use glass steel to the point where I'm being wasteful, you know. Okay, what does this give us? Ruby cactus field. Alright. So I want all of these tiles. Question is if I drop one here, then I'm getting these sea tiles as well, which I might want to do because we can use sea tiles to gain extra dust and also makes warships, which is important. It's just probably important, I should say. I'm by no means an expert in this game, but I guess it's probably important if we're playing on an island map because a lot of warfare might end up being naval warfare. Or at least the important stuff. Here. Let's drop it there and drop it there. And I guess what other area... We definitely want to start a city here, so I guess we should also drop one here. So we can cover these areas in case we put them on the anomaly like this. Or we can drop one here in case we want to go more in this direction, like so. Which might actually be best. Yeah, it's probably best to just drop one here. I talk myself into it. And here, let's drop one here. This is the best location. I don't know about... Actually, I should have thought about putting one here because this region looks good. Oh well. Or at least I want to have this area and then eventually this area. I really want to build over this lava flow because on tier 3 you get this amazing upgrade, magma hydraulics. And also I just picked up mercenary market, so I should think about picking up a hero. Now we have options. We have these heroes for the ardent mages are excellent scientists or science upgraders. These heroes from the cultists are just excellent as governors. They have so many great skills. And yeah, it's really between those two. And I guess we can pick up... let me just show you the skill. Like, so for governors, you always look at the faction tree. These trees tend to have military. This is a generic tree, which is generally undesirable. These trees have military upgrades, typically only military upgrades. And the faction tree really gives you the best upgrades for a governor, if it does. I mean, it depends on the faction. Some factions don't have good governors. So this inspirational leader is actually quite good for governors. Everyone has access to that, but you want way more than this before you commit a hero to being governor. So here, you first look at the starting skills, like army defense and industry boost. So a bit of industry extra by picking this hero, which is not bad. And now the necrophages heroes give you bonus food, give you bonus unit production, and give you bonus percentage food. So they really favor food, which is not bad. Food is a very important resource in this game because you can grow cities basically indefinitely, and if you keep growing your cities with more food, you'll have more workers, which give you more other resources later in the game. So food is very important to ramp up, so important that I'm probably picking up public granary next. This is an upgrade I'm valuing, especially since it also works in winter. It's an upgrade I've been valuing more and more the more I've played the game and the more I've appreciated the importance of food. So On the other hand, having influence boost is neat. I mean, 3 influence per level is huge because of how rare influence is. And the cultist heroes are excellent because they give you bonuses, huge fits bonuses per population on cities. So that's amazing scaling late into the game. Then they have huge percentage bonuses for science, influence, dust, and obviously inspirational leaders as well. They nicely curve into that. So in the long term, these heroes offer you a ton of economic bonuses on your cities, especially if those cities end up having a lot of population. Yeah. So I guess I'm going to choose Ozek the Chosen as my first hero. Alright. Now I can think about buying another hero, which will cost me more dust, but at the same time, if the sooner I get the hero, the less likely other factions start to snap it up. I guess I'll just wait for my settler to arrive over there, which will be in 3 turns anyway. It's not that long. Alright, let's just end the turn. Now the settler should pop. And I believe winter just hit. So that's bad because of winter annoyingly kills our dust production and reduces our food production. Or it doesn't kill it, but it heavily impacts our ability to produce dust. And also it means that our settler will take its time to reach this location, which is annoying, but something we have to live with. And sadly, our food production is in the negative, so something that's also not desirable. Now I can get Empire Mint first. Now, the unique thing about Winter in the latest DLC is that you can pick up these Pearls of Auriga, and what they let you do is you can spend them for a bunch of unique upgrades. They tend not to have huge impact, but they let you exploit, for instance, anomalies or luxuries a bit better. So they're nice in the end of the game, and early in the game they let you build the Altar of Auriga, which is basically a spiced up or improved Burrow Street. So they're things we want to get, but not things we have to super prioritize. I guess I just want to go here, so I just make sure this location which I want to exploit is worth getting. We might want to triangle like so. Well, actually, we might. I don't know how we're going to triangle. Following the lava river probably means that we won't. I'll probably put one here just so I have this location covered as well. Following the lava river means that we won't have an ideal triangle, but whatever. We're going to have to lose one square at some point. If you know what I mean, like often the ideal city formation is triangular, so you level up your districts, because a district which has 4 districts next to it gets a new level. This is going to be even possible in our starting city because it's so awkwardly placed. I mean, we can make a triangle here, but we're going to lose so many resources eventually. It's pretty garbage in the long term, but in the short term, this is a nice location. We're probably going to move Ozek over to a city with better prospects, like this one, I think. We can make another settler, actually. We just have to make sure that we don't starve in the meantime. That'd be bad. It's good to make settlers in the winter, because if you do, you're not losing out on that much food production, because settlers prevent you from gaining food. But if you're not producing that much food, then settlers they don't cost you as much food, because it prevents you from getting food full stop. But if you're not producing that much food, losing access to food in general is not as big a blow. Okay. Cool. I guess we could have upgraded the settler with better movement. How much does this actually help? Yeah, that would have helped a lot. Yeah, whatever. That was possibly a mistake, but yeah. I just hope that our dust production won't be too crippled. Okay, as you can see, this is the thing I was talking about. And here we get to spend on economy and population for our quest, but also because we want more dust desperately. And also, we're going to get 25% bonus on science, because our science is a bit low. If we had a ton of influence to spend, we could pick up this, really improve the happiness level on our cities. We don't, because it's the start of the game. You naturally get more influence by building up your cities. So I have to make sure to remember to activate both of these on just before I settle the... I've forgotten that. I mean, I had to make a previous retake. I mean, I ideally would have kept the mistake, but I... sadly, I recorded too long a video, so... which is kind of good because I've learned from those mistakes. I can't count the number of times I've planned to prepare this, and then accidentally settled before doing that, so settled before activating those boosters, and it was like maximum heartbreak. I've just continued to scout out these areas. It's probably something we should try and do before we. Before armies spawn from these villages. And by the way, if villages are not pacified past a certain point, they will start spawning roaming armies which walk around the map and make your life miserable, because like, if we pacified that village, that's good. Wait! But we pacified them just now! Oh, that's highly annoying. We should definitely run off our hero. Don't want to mess with those. We've already set the groundwork for our city there, so we don't have to worry too much about that. We could spend 10 glass steel or 8 titanium. I think I'm going to spend glass steel. I'm a bit biased towards titanium. And now we have equal amounts, so it's not bad actually. We're probably only going to be using it for basic upgrades though. Okay, let's hope that the... Okay, let's actually dump here. Yeah, it's not bad. In a couple of turns, next turn we can pick up the alchemy workshop and public granary in some order. And I think those two upgrades are really strong. Alchemy workshop is good, but the more I guess for the Kapaku you're naturally fine with science, at least including partly because of these bonuses you get by searching ruins, so you don't have to worry as much. I'm just going to run the hell away from that region. I really can't afford to get killed by these roaming armies. Oh, there's another temple. Oh, that's nice. Let's see what we get. Strong infantry hero here. It's a good thing I don't have one of those. Alright, now I have to remember the thing I said I would do. Let's pump that. And now let's just activate this, because why not? I don't know if we'll get any benefit from it, but better safe than sorry. And also, okay, now we've colonized it, we gained the emeralds. That means we can actually send a unit back to this town as soon as possible. Which will get there faster, our hero actually. We can actually unassign our hero and reassign them on our city. And once they're here, we can send them over there next turn. That's a neat trick. Often you get a bonus you get bonus movement, quote unquote, on the hero by reassigning them to a army, but you can actually reassign them to city, and sometimes that's an even better choice as he's over there. Here's an anomaly. I think I want to start terraforming that region so I can eventually place a golem camp there, where I can think about terraforming this other region. I guess we're not getting that much utility out of the golems anymore. I guess we should start thinking about forming up and starting to take out armies in regions that are threatening to us. I'm going to put our work on influence to complete this quest. This quest is always basically colonize the region and then gain influence at all for a number of turns. And we actually get some glass steel, which is nice. Again, we really want lots of extra strategics to benefit us with volcanoes, etc. And we can think about picking up another hero. And we can pick up another cultist hero, which I like. We can pick up a food hero. Tino the Chosen is a better choice because of influence boost. This guy only has damage boost, etc. I kind of like more cultist heroes. We could also go for these heroes, but the problem is, in the long term, they're going to be a little bit unexciting. And they give us lots of science early on. But... well, expansion disapproval received is also neat. But I think we can get more value out of these in the long term. And I think other heroes like... oh, this is actually not a bad hero. Dust Efficient 3 and Food Boost. And we get bonus. This is also a nice hero. Maybe this decision is closer than I thought it was. Yeah. So I really like picking up these heroes a bit later because they improve. They get huge bonuses from trade routes. We currently don't really have trade routes, but we do have 3 anomalies of the city, and we get. I think we get a skill on the hero where we get bonus dust per anomaly. So this is not a bad choice for that new city. Actually, I think I might actually go for this hero. I mean, the fact that food boost and dust efficiency are a thing there, in addition to the first skill just being good in our city, means I think that we're going to get more value out of it than a second cultist hero. Although I want to pick this hero up eventually as well. We're not much under... We already have one hero dedicated to... I guess we can go seed storage. The winter will end before seed storage is finished. Let's see, seed storage. No. I'm just going to drop something there, and I think I want to maybe think about dropping volcano former here because this terrain is something I want to pick up with a golem camp eventually. Maybe here's best, because then I also get some sea tiles. Or maybe here's best, because then I can get one of these sea tiles. And sea tiles mean basically extra dust in the future. And it's just important to plan ahead with volcano formers and golem camps, etc. with this faction. Because sometimes, it takes 5 turns to volcano form terrain. If you forget to do it right, then in the long run, it will screw you over later, basically. Takes some getting used to, lots of reload saving, embarrassment, etc. Fortunately, I've already partaken in said embarrassment, so you get to see some good strategy now. And we pacified a village. Wonderful. That means we get extra population on the building, meaning we get the settler out faster, and then we can just pick up the alchemy workshop sooner. I'm just going to pick up this. I think Alchemy Workshop is something worth going for, even though Public Granary might be more appealing at that point. We can also pick up an altar here. Although... I don't know if I really want an altar. Maybe I want to put the altar in an area where we can hope to expand around it and get these bonuses for a level on altar or rigor. I think the bonuses per level are a bit better on the altar, in terms of... I think they are a bit better than the street in some ways. Yeah, Alchemy Workshop it is. At least for now, that's the plan. Okay, we keep moving up. We've this region as our next target. We're not going for this region because we can't pacify these villages. And I guess we're going to go here and then go there to pick up that. Perfect. And winter has ended, so we're not bleeding dust anymore, hopefully. Okay, we got influence for producing dust. Sorry. No! Oh, come on! Actually, we can actually beat them with the reinforcements, so that's not bad. But what is bad is that our dust production has really hit the bin. Okay, what about this? No, we'll just put some workers into dust next turn. It's fine that we're bleeding, I guess. We already have 3 heroes. 2 of them are good governors, and once this governor here gets a level... By the way, it's good that we get to fight with... it's good to have your governor hero fight random mobs randomly. And the reason is that way you get the experience for being a governor, but you also get some experience for being a warrior hero. Or at least for a couple of fights, which is just valuable. Okay, it's fine if this hero takes damage. It's not great, but as long as you have army units alive at the end of the fight, your hero will never die. What you should avoid at all costs is having your hero be the only unit fighting. Looks like we got unlucky there. I think we should have... This is something... I'm not the best battlefield tactician, etc. And really what I could work on is making sure that the militia use... take more hits, basically. Oh, never mind, we've got him. Our hero did take a beating there, and we have to be very careful that we don't fight with him in the near future. Wait, how is he dead? Oh no. He gets injured because he was the only unit in the army. Ah, that's so irritating. Oh well. So it turns out I'm going to have to save some dust to get my hero back. It's not a huge deal. It's highly irritating, and that was a big mistake. I didn't see that army, and it swooped in and captured my hero. So that is very sad, and something I definitely could have avoided. I just thought there's no way the hero is going to get killed because I have other units in the army, but I forgot that it only means this army. Or I didn't know that it only means this army in particular. So that was a small catastrophe, but I guess we'll have enough dust production in the near future that I think we can recover from it. I suppose I should prioritize Empire Mint or start producing dust in the city as soon as I pick up the settler. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I lost my hero there, and that is definitely not the first time that's happened to me. But I think we should still continue this playthrough despite that being a big setback because of just how well in general we've been handling our economy, or I've been handling my economy, and given that the dust eclipse is happening soon, I want to keep this unit here so we can pick up these temples again. This unit can go with that temple and do this circuit. And using that dust, we should probably be... Or I guess I'll buy back this hero before then. And we should be able to, despite having to buy back a hero, be able to pick up a new governor for this settler. This settlement. Yeah, well, the settler will become the settlement. It will metamorphose like a beautiful butterfly. So, tune in next time to learn from my successes playing Endless Legend, but also my failures, because again, all my mistakes. Again, I'm not nearly as experienced with this game as I am with Endless Space 2, and I feel like the Endless difficulty is much more punishing in this game as well. Partly because the AI is much more dangerous, cheats a lot more, which kind of makes the game feel a bit bullshit sometimes, but it's still very fun and like well-designed game otherwise. So join me next time as I try and recover from this hero's unfortunate death based on the game mechanic I did not completely understand. So again, I hope you enjoy this content. I hope you had fun, learned something from both my good play and my mistakes. And I'll see you next time.